All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is December 6, 2023. This is the BYOB Market Wrap Up with John Kerrigan. That's me. All right, let's take a look at some charts. First chart, SPY. So, what happened with SPY today? SPY gapped up, failed to fill the gap up here. We have a gap that exists right here. See this? So we got a gap, and you can see where they closed right there. And you can see they left about 20 cents on the table right here. So the bears showed us that they were, the bulls showed us they were weak by failing to fill the gap. All right. And then, of course, the bears struck first blood right here with a big red candle down. Okay. Then the bulls failed to make the higher high, so they made a lower high right there. That was your clue right there, that we're probably going to go for gap fill in the morning. Now, the rest of it, I did not plan, but I will make a note that this was the second bearish setup. The first one I played heavy, and it failed. It didn't fail, but it came down and it gave me a little something profit. But this was the second one, and look how nicely this worked out. Okay, so we came down here, and then we had a channel. We hung around in this channel right through here. So there's a channel right there. You can see the same channel exists right here. Just carry it over. Okay, so we came down into the channel. We did the gap fill thing, and then we meandered around. Now you can see this right here is our daily uptrend line. It's not really long, but I'll back out so you can see where it starts. So it starts back here on the 30th of November. And you can see every time we hit it, the bulls rallied it up. The bulls rallied it up, and the bulls rallied it up. Now I made a note. I said to traders early this morning that, hey, every time we've been in this neighborhood, okay, the bears seem to be patrolling. All right, see, we were up here, and the bears pushed it down. We came up here, and then the bears pushed us down. Came up here, bears pushed us down. And I said, I don't know this time if the bears are going to push us down. But, I got a hunch if they can't do the gap fill that they're going to do it. And, of course, they couldn't do the gap fill. The bulls couldn't complete the gap fill. The bears struck first blood. And then on top of that, the bulls failed to make the higher high. So bulls made a lower high, inspired the bears, and then everybody piled in right there. And we did the gap fill thing. Because gap fills are they're magnetic. They just kind of suck price all the way back to it. So then we did the gap fill thing all the way back here. Then we consolidated. I was really expecting a pullback to the VWAP and then back into the channel. But the bulls just weren't even engaged with going back to VWAP. So instead, they came down here and they wanted to challenge this. See this uptrend line? They challenged that. All right. Bears failed to get below it. Bears came back into the channel and couldn't make it back up to the VWAP area. So we've had lower highs all day long, and we stayed short for the most part through all of it. And you can see right here, here's the bears pushing down. So they came down to, once they broke through the channel, they came to that. Right there, they broke through there. They broke through there. Now, I did not plan. I thought these could be targets right here and here. But it looks like they're going for this one right there. So we'll see what happens tomorrow morning. But anyways, on your daily candle, what you got is a red Maribuzu candle. And whenever we get one of those, I tell the traders, okay, this is what we got. What are we looking for? Because, 80% of the time you get a Maribuzu candle, you're going to get the follow through. Okay, so that's That's like the biggest red candle we've seen in a long time. Notice there weren't too many red candles through here, but the ones we had were few and far between, and the ones we had weren't really significant. This is probably the biggest one that we've had in a while. So we're looking for follow through on this tomorrow. And if you notice, we're going to close right here underneath. This is our weekly downtrend line. We're closing underneath the line. So this 4-day daily diagonal support failed us so far. I mean, so far it's only a spike, all right, because we haven't got any follow through yet, okay? So it looks like this failed us. And it also, at least on the smaller time frames, okay? Now on the bigger time frames, it's just a spike, okay? But if we look at this, and then here's our weekly downtrend line, the backside of it failed us, at least on the daily time frame. On the smaller time frames, we came through with follow through. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. And then one of the traders in here, Malcolm, pointed out that we are possibly setting up, see the break of support here and here on the 4-hour, a possible 2-candle MMRP, in which case we would expect price to hang out here and then retrace back to probably a location of, I'm just going to ballpark it, okay? Somewhere between, see the top of that area, this 456.67, somewhere between here and there. We're looking for price pullback. Now it may do it in one candle, and then we get the follow through. I don't know what will happen, but we could get follow through to the downside. We'll see what happens. We want to see this pull back to resistance. Resistance, hold it either here or here. Either one will work with me. And then roll over to the downside. So we'll see what happens. So we're going to keep an eye on that. That 4-hour MMRP. And might be a 1 candle. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be a 2 candle, which will probably void tomorrow's bearish move, because 2 4-hour candles would take us into Friday. So we'll see what happens. And then again, it may be a 3 candle move. So we get the follow through tomorrow and then the pullback to resistance. So we could see that it might develop into a 3 candle move, and we get the follow through tomorrow, and then it comes back and finds resistance over here. So we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. In the meantime, we're just going to keep an eye on it because it does look interesting. So there we go. There's the SPY. SPY's still in an uptrend. Okay. This is still bullish. All right. The bulls have not been broken. They might be broken today, but they are still in charge. This is a bull flag. This is consolidation. All of this is normal. We've seen this before. Okay. So it's up to the bears to start breaking through, the bottom of this flag. And that would be, the first move would be below 453.26 right there. And then below that, I'd like to see them come down and at least test this 448.44 area. Okay? So this is consolidation. The major, if you were above it, the minor support would be above it. Okay? If you were above it, this would be major support. So we were above it. We break through major support. We could see a little flushing down towards the southern side, possibly down towards 448. We'll see what happens. All right. Remember, 450, big fat whole round number, will definitely cause price to pause in that vicinity. So we'll see what happens. So there's SPY. Now we're going to back out. And we're going to take a look at QQQ. And I'm going to go out on a limb. I haven't even seen it. QQQ looks the same. And from the 4-candle chart, it does. And yes, we got this. But something different here on QQQ, we have a higher low. Okay? Got a higher low and a higher high. It's red and ugly, but we have a higher low. So QQQ still bullish in a bullish uptrend. Here's the high, made higher highs. And you can see right there, QQQ failed to close below this candle or below the 17. So QQQ was started out strong today, but faded fast. So QQQ in a bull flag, holding up right here. So let's take a look at FNGU. So FNGU did the same thing, but it got below the trend indicator. All right. So FNGU, here's the high, made a higher high, so that makes it in a daily uptrend. Okay. So we're still in a daily uptrend. It's just consolidating over to the right here. You notice this gap. I guess this gap got filled 2 days ago, right there. You can see that candle that came down, filled the gap, then went back up. Okay. On FNGU, got a higher high and a higher low. It's a move up, but it's a big red candle down. Okay, so it's red and ugly, but nonetheless, it did advance price upward. Not for long, but it did advance price upward. So that's still bullish. So here's FNGU. Let's look at Diamond Dow. It's Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow makes a equal low and a higher high. Red, it comes back down. So closing below the 3 EMA. Still over the T-line, over the trend indicator. Still doing a lot of the right stuff here. So Diamond Dow just kind of consolidating the last 3 days here. We had an inside day and then almost another inside day to the inside day. And we got a red candle back. It is possible Diamond Dow comes down and visits this uptrend line right through here. So we'll see what happens. Or consolidate some more. We'll see. So there's Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at IWM. IWM looks like it gapped up, rallied for the morning session, and then after the morning session, it looks like it faded for the rest of the day. We'll look at this on the 30-minute chart. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Gapped up, traded up, and then faded the whole day. So there's IWM. All right, and IWM puts in a higher high and inked out barely a lower low. But it's still in an uptrend. If we look at it on the daily, we've got higher lows and higher highs and higher lows and higher highs. So IWM still in an uptrend, and look at it. It's over this inverted head and shoulders neckline, and right here is the midpoint of the last move down. This is the retracement, and you can see the bulls are still holding the price action up over the midpoint. So that's still bullish. Everything's still bullish, even though today wasn't pretty for the bulls. It was pretty good for the bears, but even though today wasn't pretty for the bulls, everything is still bullish. So it's not over for the bulls. All right. But let me just say a pullback, a nice pullback to minor support would be good. All right. It would help inspire the bulls. Seeing a higher low being developed, it would inspire buyers to come in, and push price back up to challenge the recent highs. Okay, let's take a look at IYT. Here's our transports. Transports doing a higher low and a higher high from the previous day's candle. Still in an uptrend, closing over the 3 EMA. Transports still doing the right stuff. Just consolidating here in a bull flag. All right, XLF. Here's XLF. Here's the last high, made a higher high. It's in a daily uptrend. For today's candle, we made a higher high and a lower low. Just barely made a lower low, but still closing over the T line. Still very bullish. So for XLF to close over 35.05, pull back, find it as support, and then probably consolidate up here and then move up, that would be really nice. That would keep XLF, keep the market going. So XLF still bullish. All right, let's take a look at semiconductors. All right, semiconductors gapped up nicely today over the T line and just melted all day. Okay, but nonetheless, they made a higher low. Well, they held on to a higher low and made a higher high. Big red candle, all right, ugly red, for the bears, for the bulls, it's not pretty, but nonetheless, they did advance price with higher highs and higher lows. So there's SMH, still looking bullish at this time. I'd like to see it get up over this 162 area. That would be inspiring if it got up there. So that's SMH. Now let's take a look at USO. Now USO is gapping down this morning, and USO has fallen out of bed here. Okay, we've got a lower high and definitely a lower low. And we've got, well, let me just say, it looks like a head and shoulders pattern at this time. See, here's the left shoulder, the right shoulder, and the head right there. And it looks like this is just rolling down. So USO in a downtrend, lower highs and lower lows. Not looking pretty for energy, so I don't know how much longer the markets can hold up without energy telling them that we have a bullish demand out there. So we'll see what happens. UNG, all right, doing the same thing. Lower high, lower low, closing underneath the 3 EMA. Again, I don't know how long the markets will stay bullish with energy telling them that we don't have a bullish demand. So we'll see. This is kind of one of the outliers that could throw a wrench in the bull market rally. We'll see what happens. If they can get this spun around, it's going to take a lot of work to do there. All right, let's take a look at silver and gold. All right, so here's silver extending the pullback with a lower high and a lower low right there. Silver extending that pullback right there. So looking for it to find a home right around 2168, 2150. All right, for silver. That would be some minor support right through here. All right, I'll draw that in for you so you can see that. And you can see these tips right there. That would be minor support. So right in through there, all the way down to this lower line here. I'd like to see this find support right in there. That would represent probably pretty good value right there. If you could find that. And then I'd like to see it get bullish or consolidate and start moving back up. There's silver. Still in an uptrend, higher low, higher high. It's just pulling back to minor support. And a pullback to minor support is healthy. It helps regain new buyers and helps push the markets even higher. When you get those new buyers come in, like, I'm not going to chase it, but now it's starting to look tasty. You know what I'm saying? So it pulls back here, and then it's just like, now that's more in my lane. All right? Because buyers like a value. Everybody wants a value. Everybody likes a coupon. Everybody wants a promo code. So here you go. This is that coupon is being delivered right through here. So there's silver. Let's take a look at gold. So here's gold. Gold pulling back to, I didn't want to mess that up. Okay, so gold pulling back. You can see gold hit some minor support there. I think gold could pull back just a little bit more. But gold pulled back to minor support and bounced up. So we got a higher low and a higher high today on gold. Gold still very bullish here. Notice it up over the trend indicator. All right, just closing at the consolidated 3 and the T line right there. That's the 8 EMA. So gold still bullish. Higher low, higher high. Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar index. I don't know if it's going to come up. We'll see how fast it comes up today. And let's pull up Max Payne. Max Payne's like 450 for tomorrow. So Max Payne, no, is for Friday. So Max Payne for tomorrow's 456. I can definitely see that happening. Max Payne is 450. I can definitely see that happening with Malcolm's MMRP. Pull back to 456 and then a drop into 450. I can definitely see that, all that happening for the end of the week. So there's Max Payne. Dollar has rallied past 103.90 all the way up to 104.20. So dollar staging a rally after rising above the flat 200 on the daily chart. If I can pull it up, it's coming up just a second. Here we are. So here's our flat 200. We rubber band it right there. And the rubber band slings price back up to the upside. So the question is are they going to climb the breakdown candle? Okay, there's the big question. Can they consolidate and climb the breakdown candle? Now, bullish dollar is bad for the markets. Why? Because it makes our goods and services more expensive in foreign countries, which ruins our GDP, ruins revenue for all of our companies here in the USA. Okay, it kind of decreases. It decreases revenues. All right, so even though the stuff costs more, what it is people don't see it as a value and they tend to go with a different product. So US dollar rallying off the flat 200 there. So there's US dollar. We went through Max Payne. That's it, traders. I will see you all tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I look forward to seeing you. Until then, have a wonderful evening.